Oh my God.
On my birthday, I never forget.
February. That was the worst months of my life. I couldn't even sit up. I couldn't even get up out the bed. My bathroom was about from here to where Tom was at. Couldn't hardly make it to the bathroom. I crawled to the bathroom. Then almost had to come in there and drag me back to my bed. I couldn't get my balance. I was just weaving and rocking. Yes, sir. Then I think when we took the communion,
So,
she had to help me on some of the stuff.
yeah, because I'm telling you how severe it was. He don't even remember a lot that was going on.
Yeah. Your body is so much time you don't even know.
I noticed he started losing weight first. West went from 210 to 165 in 2 weeks.
That's how I'm
And so
gonna
the first time we went to the doctor, he said West had vertigo. That's why he
your belly, yeah, like run
So
together.
he gave me some medicine, but it wasn't working. And so I would have to help him take a shower and all this. I'm like, this don't sound right. And so I left him at home with Nisha because I had to go to work. It was, the job I had, I worked by deadline. Right. So I had to go to work that day. And when I was sitting at my desk and my pastor's wife called me, she said, Linda, the Lord told me to carry you away to take communion for 7 days. I said, okay. Now this is the miracle about the whole thing. So I go to work and I came home. We got ready to take communion. And as soon as Wes took communion, he came to himself and prayed. Like he was normal. Right? But while we were sleeping, I could feel Wes dying. So I would say, come back. And he would take a breath. I could literally feel him leaving.
Yeah.
So every time we would take communion, he would come back to himself, right? So he said it was March 6th. It was March 6th. I was at work. And the Lord said, call the doctor and tell him that Wes is not getting better. It's like he's getting worse. So I called the doctor and he said, come in right now. So I left work. Now I worked an hour and a half from where we live. And me and Ann was carpooling. So I told Ann, I said, you're going to have to go with me to take Wes to the doctor. So I went and picked her up. And we went and picked Wes up. He was laying in the bed. He had turned gray.
Yeah. Oh, we.
And it was like, oh God. So we got him up and we got him dressed. And Ann was driving and me and Wes was in the passenger seat and I was in the back. And while she driving, when we got to the doctor's office and the doctor saw him, he couldn't believe it. He said, wait a minute. He said, I'm going to call the ambulance and take him to emergency. And I said, no, because we in Eaglewood. They was going to take him to hospital over there. I said, no. I said, answer me this. I said, can I drive him? And he said, yeah, he should be okay. So I drove him to our hospital. And while we driving, Wes kept leaving. And I kept laying hands on him. And he kept coming back. So when we got to the hospital, I said, let me go get a wheelchair. He said, no, I'm going to walk in here. So Wes got out the car and he walked into emergency. And they took him right away to the back. And so we got back there. And Ann would depart when she came back. And they wouldn't let her in. And I said, no. I need my sister back here. And so she came back. And so the doctor had came and took a blood test of him. He came in there maybe like 30 minutes later. He said, we're going to have to do the test again. He said, I think something is wrong. So we said, okay. So he went. But I see Wes was laying there. I'm telling y'all, he was gray.
I know. I know.
Let me say this right quick. When I was at work, the people on the ward that I work on, they kept looking at me and said, you okay? I said, yeah. My thing is, I always said, I'm fine, I'm in pain.
You're going to keep, you always have,
crazy,
yeah.
But I know what I'm saying. I always say, I'm fine. They looked at me and they like, you're all gray. Your face look ashy.
Yeah, don't flushed out. That's it.
I said, I don't know.
So
I kept on. I go to work. Take me all day to do my assignment when I can do it in 3 hours. And they started noticing. They said, you need to take some time off and see what's going on. Fine. So I decided to take off, went to the doctor, and they said, well, I'm going to take you off from work for a little while till we see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm at home, still doing stuff around the house, you know.
Being a man.
I don't get the devil no head.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept on getting weak and weak, and I'm like, something ain't right. That's because I would go to the doctor. It would take me almost an hour to get to the doctor. He
You only had
was
one car.
like
So
2
I
blocks
had a
away.
car driving me in, and he would have to catch the train. And he would have to stop at every point so he can catch the
Before
train.
you can get to.
And so when they came in and did the second test, right? And so they came in the room and they started asking us questions. Do you know what their name is? And he was like, yeah. He said, well, I'm concerned. He said, because you got the 2 pints of blood in you.
Ooh!
That's why he was great.
See, first they came and said, you got 3 pints.
Yeah.
What the?
I always remember it. They said, we're going to have to take another test to make sure we was correct.
What? They couldn't believe it.
So they came back. We made a mistake. I said, what happened? You only had 2 pints. I said, well, look at God.
There was a thought I had in the kitchen. I was sitting in there.
Let him finish his testimony.
Oh, you wasn't done?
No!
I'm sorry.
I told you it might be all night.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So I like what happened before we went to the hospital. I checked my blood pressure. You know, I wanted to see what it said. I checked it. I looked at it. I said, 40 something.
Oh my God.
He didn't have no good.
I said, well, the machine must be. I blame the machine because I'm like, you know, I remember that from when I was working. A nurse told her supervisor that I checked this person's blood pressure and it was 60 over something. She said, if that person's blood pressure that low, they'll be dead. So I looked at her and I said, I should be dead.
Not even seeing, not even knowing it, but realizing.